Show me your football club to tell me who you are. A column by Fréderike Geerdink. Even though I don't like football, and I'm expressing myself mildly here, I did once go to an Amedspor match. They played against Galatasaray in the Turkish Cup. It was amazing to feel what the club stands for. They keep reflecting not only the hopes but also the resistance of the Kurdish people. The match I went to was against Galatasaray in December 2014. I found the goals back in a short video. A link is in the written version of this column. 1 goal for the home team, 4 for the guests. No surprise, of course, that a top club from Istanbul beat a team that was playing in a lower division. At least it was a comfort that it was Galatasaray that gave Amedspor a beating, I remember, because from the 3 Istanbul clubs, Galatasaray is the most loved among Kurds. It has to do with the club colors red and yellow playing on a green field. Get it? Those are the Kurdish colors, red, yellow and green. You may find that simplistic, but it's not. Everything that refers to Kurdish identity was and is criminalized. Depending on the political mood of the day, you can still be beaten, detained and locked up for singing Kurdish songs, dancing the Covent, or for wearing a shawl with those 3 colors. Or for defending the right to elect and be represented by the mayor of your choice, for that matter. So it's fun to see the colors that are connected to your culture play out on football fields. Now Amedspor released a new video about the club, Halkın Takımı, or People's Team. It seems part of a campaign to give the club a more international profile with the English voiceover. Are they counting on European football? The footage is wonderful and energizing. And you hear that text saying about the club, "You are the hope and resistance of a people." It's not an exaggeration. A link to the video is in the written version of this column. Amedspor has for many years been the target of anti-Kurdish hate, both on the football field and outside it. Often when a team plays an away match, their players' bus is attacked with stones, and more often than not, supporters of the away team show up at the hotel where the Kurdish team is staying to spit their hate speech and worse around. And you can't believe what sometimes happens during the matches. One of the most horrifying attacks happened in Bursa last year. During the match, literally hundreds of objects were thrown at the players. Bursaspor fans also held up photos of specific cars that were used by the Turkish army's illegal death squads in Kurdistan in the 1990s, and portraits of the secret agents who carried out the assassinations at the time. The match wasn't even stopped. And how do the Amedspor fans react? With violence and intimidations? Never. And this is where it becomes interesting, because in the resistance of the fans, you really get to know the club, and with that, the people. They know that standing up for their sports club is part of the larger political resistance, and that resistance is experienced, smart, resourceful, dedicated, and it doesn't stop until freedom is reached. This month, 3 elected Kurdish mayors were sacked and replaced by so-called trustees of the state, in other words, by unelected AKP stooges. The resistance against that is fierce and ongoing in Batman, Mardin and Halfeti, the cities affected, but in other Kurdish cities as well. Protest meetings continue to be held. Youth take out to the streets, sit-ins are held and more. And also the Amedspor fans make their contribution. Which is not that easy, because if you carry, for example, banners with political slogans, the Turkish Football Federation will fine the club, so you have to be creative. What happened, as this nice website Media News wrote in an article? In the match of this weekend against Kecioğlan, the supporters chanted Halfeti, the Kurdish name of Halfeti, in the 63rd minute, and in the 72nd minute chanted, "Everywhere is Batman, everywhere is resistance." Why those exact moments? Those are the respective cities' vehicle registration codes, with Halfeti being part of Urfa, which has code 63. Mardin, number 47, was apparently forgotten, but that's understandable 2 minutes after halftime. I'm afraid it won't take long before other moments in matches will have to be used for such protest as well. Keep your eyes on minutes Shirnak, 73, and Ahmed itself, 21. It may be small, but it shows the club and the people. Their resistance is always everywhere. Football is politics, there's no denying that. How dirty that can also get, we saw in the capital city of my country, the Netherlands, last week. The news went around the world. Supporters of the Israeli club Maccabi Tel Aviv chanted racist, misogynist and violent songs and glorified the genocide that Israel is currently carrying out in Gaza. Part of those supporters had recently been on active duty in Gaza, so they were glorifying their own war crimes. It was shocking, disgusting. And it confirms, show me your football club and I will show you who you are. A genocidal state will have teams with supporters that condone that genocide and even celebrate it. A fascist anti-Kurdish state like Turkey has several teams with supporters who strongly support the state's suppression of Kurds and help intimidate the Kurds. A nation that is resisting suppression in a long-lasting, well-organized resistance, like the Kurds, gets the supporters it deserves as well. A friend from Ahmed recently sent me an official Amedspor t-shirt. I wear it with pride. Fréderike Geerdink is an independent journalist. Follow her on Twitter, fgeerdink, or subscribe to her weekly newsletter, Expert Kurdistan. The link is in her Twitter bio.